Hi, pre-algebra students. Welcome to week 8, so surface area of rectangular prisms. I filled in some of the vocabulary words here, but when we're talking about surface area, we're actually talking about adding up the areas of all the different faces. And there's two different ways. You can use a net or you could use a formula. Basically, a prism is a three-dimensional figure with all rectangles. Okay, everything you see is a rectangle, and the length is the distance between left to right. The height is obviously how tall it is, and the width is from front to back. I'm going to show you both ways. I'm going to show you how you can do it using a net, and I'm going to show you how you can do it using that bluish formula there. But I'm going to be honest. If I were you, I would just use the formula. Okay, so I would just jump right to using the formula, but I will show you the net too because some of us are more visual learners. All right, so using a net. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking all the different faces and finding the area of all the different faces. So let's start with the bottom face. The bottom face is a it's a rectangle, and this rectangle is the same at the top and the bottom. So these are, when I'm finding the area, I'm actually finding the area of both of those figures. And it's a 3 by 4 rectangle. So the area is going to be 3 times 4 because it's length times width. So this is 12 centimeters squared. And there's 2 of them, okay, the top and the bottom. Okay, we said that there was 2 of them, so I'm going to write that out twice. The area of this one is 12 centimeters squared. All right, so that's the top and the bottom. Now the right and the left are the same. So this right one here, okay, that's another rectangle. I'll draw it down here. And that rectangle is 4 by 12. So 4 by 12. And that's going to be the same thing as the left-hand side. Okay, that is also a 4 by 12 rectangle. So once again, I'm going to have 2 of those. Okay, 2 of those, so 4 by 12. So my area is going to be 4 times 12 for both of those. So if I go into my calculator and do 4 times 12, it gives me 48 for both of those. So 48 centimeters squared, 48 centimeters squared. And then my last one, I'll do this in green, is my front and my back. So the front, the top to bottom is still 12. So it's 12 by 3. So these 2 rectangles for the front and the back are 12 by 3. So 3 times 12, 3 times 12. Okay, so area is 3 times 12, which gives me the area of, going to my calculator, should be 36, but I want to check. Yep, 36. 36 centimeters squared, 36 centimeters squared. And that's for the front and the back there. All right, so I found all the area of the different faces. So to find out what the surface area is, I have to add them all up. So I'm going to be adding 12 plus 12 plus 48 plus 48 plus 36 plus 36. Okay, I'm adding all of those up right now. Or you could do 2 times. 2 times 12, 2 times 48, 2 times 36, and then adding them up. But I'm going to go through and add them all up individually. 48 plus 36, and I get the surface area of 192. All right, so my answer is that my surface area is 192 centimeters squared. We can also use a formula. So the formula, you just have to note what the length, the width, and the height is. So I'm going to call this my length, this my width, this my height. And then I go into my surface area formula, which is 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the width times the height, plus 2 times the length times the height. So go into that formula and plug in the numbers. So my length is 3, so 2 times 3, my width is 4 times 4, plus 2 times my width, which is 4, times my height of 12, plus 2 times my length of 3, times my height of 12. Just make sure that you evaluate all the multiplication first, then add them all together. If you try to do it all in your calculator, you might not get the right answer. So 2 times 3 times 4 is 24. And 2 times 4 times 12 is 96. And 2 times 3 times 12 gives me 72. Add up all of those different parts, plus 96 plus 72. I get the same surface area as I got before, which is 192 centimeters squared. Okay, so notice how my two surface areas end up being the same. But in my opinion, I think the formula is a little bit easier. But if you like to use the net and find the multiplication of all the rectangles and add them together, that's perfectly fine. All right, here's our next example. So I'm going to use the formula for all of these. So this is my length, my width, my height. Okay, so surface area is equal to 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the width times the height plus 2 times the length times the height. Just want to check that formula real quick. Good. All right, so this is going to be 2 times 12 times 9 plus 2 times 9 times 2 plus 2 times 12 times the height of 2. Okay, go into my calculator, do all of my multiplication first. Okay, so 2 times 12 times 9 is 216 plus 2 times 9 times 2 should be 36 plus 2 times 12 times 2 is going to give me 48. Add them all together. 216 plus 36 plus 48, and I get 300. 300 feet squared. And it's feet squared because it's surface area, and area is always squared. All right, I'm going to go through and do the next one. Example number 2, length, width, and height, and apply it right to my formula, which my formula, once again, is 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the width times the height plus 2 times the length times the height. All right, so I'm going to go through and multiply these. So it's 2 times 4, because that's my length, times 4.5, plus 2 times 4.5 times 2.5, because that's my height, plus 2 times 4 times 2.5. Go through, do my multiplication first. So this is going to be 2 times 4 times 4.5 gives me 36, plus 2 times 4.5 times 2.5 gives me 22.5, and 2 times 4 times 2.5 gives me 20. Add all those up to give me my surface area. So if I add them up, my surface area is 36 plus 22.5 plus 20. And it's going to give me 78.5 centimeters squared. All right, last one. So what is the minimum amount of wrapping paper? So that's, once again, the surface area, because we want to cover the box. So if you're covering it, you're covering up all the area. So this is going to be a surface area problem. Length, width, and height. So 2 times 18 times 10 plus 2 times 10 times 9 plus 2 times 18 times 9. Just applying the formula. Do all my multiplication first. So 2 times 18 times 10 is 360 plus 2 times 10 times 9 is 180 plus 2 times 18 times 9 is 324. Add those together, and that's going to give me 864. So surface area is 864 inches squared. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the live meeting, but just so you know, you can just apply the formula, or you can do the net for the IXL or for the homework. I'll see you guys soon.